Jerry Mallory here for SB Nation and PrivateTrade.com, here to renew your hate for the Green Bay Packers. Let's face it, as Lions fans, we've had plenty of reasons to self-loathe this year. The 1-7 start, the inconsistencies from Matthew Stafford, the injuries, you name it. And then there have been other stories that have gone on where we've been focusing on our team more than our opponents. Martha Ford stepping in, the firings of Lewan and Mayhew. But this is the 1 week where we want to change the narrative. We're not looking at the Lions as much. We're looking at the other guys on the other side of the field. That's the Green Bay Packers. It's time to renew our hate for Green Bay. Now, why is this? Why is this win, if we can get it, so important? It's for several reasons. No, it's not for playoff implications. I mean, we could win 8 games in a row, go 9-7, and we'll still probably miss the playoffs. Besides, no one's sitting here saying that we even have a remote chance of ripping off 8 wins. So it's not so much in terms of playoff implications. It's not so much of rallying behind Jim Caldwell. It's the fact that Lambeau Field has been this monkey on the Detroit Lions' back for so long. So getting this win will change several narratives that, as a fan myself, I know I'm getting sick of. I know you're getting sick of as well. For instance, Matthew Stafford has not won a road game against a playoff team. He's 0-whatever on the road against teams with an above 500 record. I'm sick of hearing it, but it's true. I mean, the stat is there for a reason, so getting a win this week would change that narrative. Additionally, it's the big one, the one we're all sick of, the lazy commentary, the played out bit of a stat. The Lions are 0-whatever in Lambeau. The last time they won in Lambeau, this was the #1 movie. It's some old movie. This was the price of gas. Matt Stafford was in diapers. Calvin Johnson lost his first tooth. I'm sick of it. But it's a factual stat. It's there for a reason. The only way we can change that narrative is by getting this win. So let's focus on trying to get this win amidst a horrible season. And yes, renewing our hatred for the Packers is healthy for us. Now, let's be honest. A lot of the hatred that we have toward them, it's because we're jealous. Look at the success that they've had. They go from one Hall of Fame quarterback to another, Super Bowl appearances, Super Bowl wins, and we're sitting here waiting for one of any of those things. But jealousy breeds some of the nastiest emotions. It breeds some of the most hateful and vicious emotions toward the person you're jealous of. Yes, there is a bit of jealousy when it comes to the Green Bay Packers. That's why we hate them. But there's also other reasons. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, for instance. Now, he's the best in the league. There's no denying that. But he's so smug. He's so cocky. And yes, he is so good. All those reasons are why we don't like Aaron Rodgers. He's made remarks about Kyle Vanden Bosch. He's made jokes about Stephen Tulloch, where he tore his ACL last year against the Packers. So there's plenty of reasons to hate the opponent. We like to say we own the Bears on the Private Trade podcast. Well, if any team has been owned by someone, yes, it is the Packers. The Packers have owned the Detroit Lions for decades, from Brett Favre, the Sterling Sharp catch, you name it. The first game I ever watched, ever, as a Detroit Lions fan on my own, was seeing the Green Bay Packers defeat the Detroit Lions in a playoff game at Lambeau Field. So let's renew our hatred for this week. Now, do I think it will happen? Do I think we will win? No. The only way we could have probably got that upset victory, in my opinion, is if the Packers was looking beyond us. They were looking ahead to the next week. Now, they've just lost 2 in a row. To me, that means they're going to be focused on this game. They don't want to lose 3 in a row. They're technically in second place now. They don't want to go a full game behind the Minnesota Vikings. So the Packers will be preparing for us. They won't be looking ahead. They will be throwing their haymaker toward us, and it will be too much for us. So I am predicting that we lose. However, if you could pick one game to win, period, it would be in Lambeau. So let's renew our hatred for the Green Bay Packers, and let's see what our boys can do. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. As always, guys, I can be found right here, PrivateTrade.com. I'll have a video in a couple of days. Also, I have my own podcast now. It's entitled the Hindsight 20 Podcast with Jerry Mallory. That's on the Detroit Sports Podcast Network. It comes out every Monday. And yes, I'm also on Twitter at Jerry Mallory NFL. All right, guys, that's going to do it until a couple of days where hopefully we'll be talking about a change in the narrative, but more than likely we'll be talking about the narrative continuing. That's the Lions losing. This has been Jerry Mallory for SB Nation and PrivateTrade.com.